Hey guys, this is Comic Uno and Comic Frontline, and today I'm doing an in-depth review for Free Comic Book Day, The Loud House. So, for Comic Frontline, we wanted to review some of the Free Comic Book Day books to, cover them on the site. And usually I don't do in-depth reviews for Comic Frontline. Usually I do, the Comic Uno episode or more older books for Comic Frontline, but I love The Loud House, and I wanted to cover something for Free Comic Book Day on this site, so that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to be talking about a show I love, and hopefully a comic I love, so let's get into it. So this is promoting the graphic novel that's coming out. Actually, I think it's out in comic book stores, but it's going to be out in bookstores this Tuesday, so get the graphic novel if you like the show and support it. I will be getting the graphic novel off Amazon. I will 100% be reviewing it on my channel, so go check that out. So we have the cover here, which is the sisters, and then Lincoln in like a comic book page turn, which is cool. And I think Lincoln's over there too. So you get an introduction of all the characters of the show. And then the interior artwork is so much fun. It's comic book strip versions of our favorite characters from The Loud House. And they do a great job here. I love it. And it's very much having the aesthetic of the show put into a comic, because the aesthetic of the show is a comic book strip. So it's not taking like a regular comic you would read from Marvel or DC, which is like 30 pages. It's taking it from like the Sunday newspaper route, where it's like, alright, here's a short story, and this is what's going on with Lincoln, this is what's going on with Lenny. And I like that. I think it fits what the show is all about. So let's get into the story. So with the first part of the issue, it goes into a reprint of actually a short that they had before the show was available, and that was Lincoln Loud's ABCs of Getting the Last Slice. So they also reprinted it because it was like a mini comic. I think that came out at San Diego Comic-Con. But honestly, it's a really good way to get to know who these characters are. You get to see the anime influence in this scene, which I thought was cool. So they're not just using the comic book influence, but they show kind of this anime scene, so I like that. And it's just them, you get to learn a little bit about their personalities and why they would want the last slice of pizza. So they end up getting another pie pizza though. The next one, I believe, I don't know if this one was a reprint, but it was Ace Savvy, and it was very familiar to the superhero episode that just recently aired on Nickelodeon, and we get to see the sisters as superheroes, which obviously fits very well into Free Comic Book Day, which is celebrating comic books, especially superhero comic books. So I like seeing that, and I thought it was hilarious to see it in the episode, and to see it now utilized in another story. So maybe we'll see more Ace Savvy and his team of sisters in future stories for The Loud House. Now moving on to pretty much the next section, which is the short stories. We get to see, this is one of my favorites, which was Lenny playing Go Fish with Lincoln and actually go fish. So she definitely did not understand what it meant to play Go Fish, but she went fishing. So that was probably one of the funniest. And then we actually get a Lisa-centric story also, and I'm glad we got a little bit of a spotlight for Lisa, because she's a character that, at least in the first season, didn't get as much. So this was a lot of fun, and it was actually her friendship, we'll say, and relationship with Lily, who she shares a room with, which you really do not see their interactions that much. So that was really cool to see in the comic. And then this is another fun one. This is with the twins, where the twins, this is actually playing off of one of the episodes that aired where they were like the hall monitors, so they were the hall monitors at home too. And it's Lincoln going to the bathroom, he's running quickly to go there, and then having to be on court to say why he was running. So that was cool to see. Kind of a throwback to a actual specific episode of The Loud House. This was another one I was really impressed with, which was the Lily short story, where we get to see inside Lily's head as she's eating. And this is something I feel like you could only do in comics, because it's such a short story. Like in the show, you wouldn't see going into Lily's head as much. So they utilized the comic book medium very well with Lily's story. And then the last story is something we've definitely seen before on the show, but, you know, you get Lori here, and it's Lori talking to Bobby, who's got to hang up first, and Bobby hangs up, and Lori's like, I can't believe he hung up. So we've actually seen that joke before on the show. And then you get a little interview of what the show's about and all that. So I went very in-depth with this, but I loved it. I think it was a really well-done book for, obviously, old fans who love the show. You get new stories here. I don't know if these are the same stories from the graphic novel. They might be. Hopefully that won't feel repetitive when you do read the graphic novel. But then there's other stories where, if you're not a Loud House fan, you might be able to get into the Loud House. And I was really happy about that, because I've always saying, guys, watch the Loud House, watch Loud House. And I truly say that. It's one of the best shows, honestly, on television, in my opinion. It's so good, so rewatchable. And if you like animation, it's something different, but also old. And that's what I like about it. So go check out the Loud House, and if you are going to your comic book stores for Free Comic Book Day, give this a chance. I think it's a good way to get new readers into it. So I gave the Loud House, the Free Comic Book Day book, 4 stars. I thought it was a very solid issue, and like I said, I will be reviewing the graphic novel on my channel. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic You Know, Comic Frontline. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links to my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.